alone. We went to the house where he just continued to do more drugs, and then he decided he wanted to go to a different club, so he and I left. We ended up at a gas station, and I thought, okay, this is it, I'm out of here. I gotta get out of here. I reached for the door, and I managed to just pull the handle, and I was between the seats. Half of my rear end area was still seated, and the other half, being my torso, my head was down, and he had me by the back of my head with one hand and by the throat with the other. This time I could not breathe at all, and I began to see stars. And I'm waiting for the release, because that's what he liked to do. So I was waiting, okay, he's gonna let go, but he wasn't letting go, and I'm beginning to feel hot, like extreme heat, and my skin was feeling tight, and it's going dark. For some reason, he decided to let go. I believe, obviously, it was the Lord. In my mind, I was screaming, Jesus, Jesus. I was coughing, crying, and the rest of the night is such a blur. We left the gas station. We got back to his house where he collapsed in the snow in the street from all of the effects of his recreational drugs. And I remember going to help him. I got out and knelt in the snow with him. I felt like, this is the last night I'm going to see you. I knew I was going to tell my mom the next day. And I knew it was almost over. He told me, Amanda, leave me. You have to get away from me. I will kill you. He told me that. I helped him into the house, and then I left. And the next morning I told my mom the truth. And we wept. She had no idea. So we made plans that Regan and I were going to move to California, which is where my whole family is from, and we had a lot of family out there. We were going to recreate our lives and get away, because to be truthful, we did not have much faith in the police. I personally don't think personal protection orders are much good at all. The plan was to play the part and then move suddenly. One day comes to mind. We had all my boxes piled up in the living room, and I was vacuuming, Regan was playing, my mom was cleaning. The plan was set, and all of a sudden is knocking, Amanda! Screaming my name, ringing the doorbell, and my mom and I are like frozen, and we just left the vacuum on. And we didn't move for that whole time, and we were so afraid he was going to jump up, look through the window on the door, and see all my boxes. But he left. And we survived. So we frantically moved all of the boxes to the sunroom. At that time, I was interning for a neurologist's office, and Richard had ruined that for me because I was still in college, had gotten this great opportunity, but he had begun to call the doctor's office where I worked, and I was doing medical transcribing, but I was also answering the phones, and he would call on one line, and I would hang up on him, he would call in another, and another, threatening to come and kill Dr. Kidway and the other ladies that I worked with in the office if I did not take his call, tell him that I loved him. I knew that I would have to include them somehow and explain things to them, but I couldn't prepare them for what I was getting ready to do because I was afraid of his repercussions. So we came up with an idea that I would write a letter, and it was going to be a general letter to my employer, my parents, Richard, and all the family. And I did, and it was interesting because my mom came across the copy of that letter. She had it, and I was going to share it, but it's really not necessary. The gist of it was, I have been abused. He's not the man I thought he was. And Regan and I are moving, and I can't tell you where we're moving to. And I thanked my employer. I put their letter in an envelope along with the key and taped it to the door. My mom had a copy, and then I had a copy for Nancy.